So today out in the greenhouse, I don't know if you can see, I am going to get the main crop tomatoes for canning planted up, seeded, so you know what I mean, put in pots. So we've got Romas and San Marzanos. I don't know if you guys have a favourite between those. If you do, please let me know. I'd love to know if anybody else is growing the same sort of things as me. I cannot see if you can see what I'm doing. Oh well, we'll just go with the flow. So it might get some interruptions because the neighbour is cutting down the most beautiful big tree today. A big umbrella pine tree, which I absolutely love, but it's on his land and it has been dropping some bottom branches, so I guess it's reached the end of its life. So I don't know how many seeds I've got. This is the San Marzanos. Oh, not very many at all. I had planned to plant lots of these, but I seem to only have about a dozen seeds. So we'll get them in the soil anyway. I'm going to put 3 in a pot. My plan this year had been, because my last couple of gardens have been so rubbish, just to scale right back on gardening and really just grow things for the animals. Because we go through phases of being pretty much carnivore as far as a diet goes, which really helps me a lot with the chronic fatigue and inflammation. But the thing is, we don't really stick to it for very long periods of time, so we do still eat vegetables and soups and things like that. So certainly I was always going to be planting tomatoes, because we can. Tomatoes for, you know, spaghetti sauce and things like that. Talking and putting seeds in the soil is not that easy apparently. So I was putting 3 per pot. So yeah, that was my original plan, just grow things for the rabbits and the pigs. And that's what I thought all winter. And then when I came out here to the greenhouse the other day, I realised I really love growing things, even if they don't produce very much fruit at the end of the day for us. I just really love growing things. So I went back and had another look through my seeds, and I seem to have come up with, and oh, excuse my sniffing, this happens every time I put my head down. Oh, sniff, 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 sniff. Yeah, every year we'll end up growing things that we said we're not going to grow. Give me 2 seconds, I'm going to go blow my nose and find my labels. So that's the San Marzanos in, I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pots with 3 seeds in each. So that would actually give us a decent number if they all germinate. I'm being beaten by a Sharpie. Okay, San Marzanos. Alright, and let's get the Romas done as well. I know I've got a lot more Romas. So which is your preference? What tomatoes do you grow for your sauces and pastes? These ones are both packets of locally available seeds to me here in Portugal, just from the local seed shops and agricultural stores, but they are bio seeds, so we always try to go as limited chemical stuff as we can here. Yeah, I need to get better at this, being able to speak and plant. Get in one at a time, thank you. You've only the one job to do. So, how many tomato plants are you growing this year, or what's your aim? How many are you putting in the ground for you and your family? Tell me how many people you're planning to be harvesting for, which varieties you're planting, and what you do with them. I mean, obviously we all know about canning tomato sauce, tomato soup, bolognese sauce, things like that. Does anybody do anything else with their tomatoes? Right, so I'm not quite sure how many to do. Last year the tomatoes were not too bad actually, they grew pretty well, but it got so hot. We were up over 45 degrees for quite lengthy periods in the summer, so things did stop setting fruit, which was quite frustrating, even though the plants were pretty healthy right up until well into September. I think we could, if we'd provided more shade for them earlier, I think we would have had a better crop of them. So that's the plan this year, is to give them a good shade cloth from much earlier on, and hope that the weather doesn't get just quite that hot here. It's not supposed to, but that's the last 2 or 3 summers we've had ridiculously hot, like a whole month of 40, 45, which is, I don't do maths when I'm doing planting, but it's well over 100 degrees anyway. To you guys who are working with Celsius, or I can't even remember if I'm working in Celsius or Fahrenheit. I'll tell you what, my brain does not function as well as it used to. Old age does not come alone. So that's that tray full of seeds for a main crop of tomatoes. At least the first round of them. Again, I think I probably will do another batch in a few weeks, so you have a bit of succession. So I'll just do 2 rounds really. Can you let me know, do you just grow 1 batch of tomatoes, or do you succession sow, or what works for you where you are? Okay, that's them all in, all covered up. I've got hundreds more of these seeds. I could plant a whole field. Okay, so that's the Romas. Romas. Alright, so I'll put this to the side for just now. Oh, I haven't filled you in, sorry. I was watching Roots and Refuge this morning. Jess is always a great inspiration, isn't she? For you who watch that channel too. So here's some more of the things I'm going to try planting. As I say, last year we didn't get an awful lot of crop out of anything. But we did get some beetroots, and I've already planted some beetroots, but I'm going to start some other ones as well. So I've got another couple of types of beetroot here. I don't think I'm going to bother putting beans in the ground just now, mainly, or in the soil, mainly because I've still got 3 runabout chickens. I was looking for something. Has anybody had any luck growing celery? I never seem to get anybody growing celery. Is there a trick? What's the trick for growing celery? It supposedly grows here really well, but I've never managed to get it. I can get it to grow in a seed tray, but as soon as you plant it outside, it either gets eaten or vanishes. What other things to decide that I wasn't going to grow? I'll just quickly show you the beans that we are going to do. We've got purple pod haricot beans, These are your yard long beans. These grew really well last year, but we got hammered with aphids. Little bio mange tout, or I don't know what you Americans call mange tout. Little flat peas that are super sweet and delicious. I really do not know if this one is a climbing bean or if it's or pea or if it's one of those little squat plants. We'll give it a go and find out. Oh, we haven't got any of those left. Standard runner beans. And Lobelia alderman from Australia, I've no idea. So a few different types of beans and peas to start. Peas I guess should be in the ground round about now. So I shall do them in the next day or two, but I have to contain those chickens first. Story of my life. So beetroot, I'm definitely planting more beetroot because that is one of my favourite veggies. There's more beetroot. I knew I had a different variety. I'm going to try some of these as well. I'm going to grow some radishes. These are just it just says red and white. I'm really growing these for the rabbits because they love them. Some little Swedes, or we call them Swedes because I'm from Scotland, but other people call these turnips. That's a different type of radish. Onions, I'm not going to bother starting from seed this year. I'm going to buy some starts because I just never seem to get on with them very well. And here's another variety of beetroot. I'm going to get these all set up right about now. And that's just, it says Beeto vermelha, so it's just a red beetroot. So I'm going to put some more beetroot. I'm just going to mix them up and put them in a tray. And then that's probably all I'm going to do for today. Because I do have the rabbits to go and clean out. Let's just very quickly get some more beetroot started. I'll just pause you for a moment till I get myself a tray. So I think we're playing again, I'm not entirely sure. You'll notice I'm sitting down. I'm not fit to do so much standing at the moment, which is quite frustrating. So all I'm going to do is make about 1/4 to 1/2 inch little rows in my seed tray. Now my idea with this is I've put it in an old meat box and I've used more compost than I would in a normal seed tray because I really want these to get fairly well established before I put them outside. Because again, if I put seedlings out small here, they just get taken. So now I'm going with the Charles Dowding method of planting them kind of in clusters because I've kind of found that they seem to do very well there, and then of course you pick some baby beetroots and then the bigger ones that are still in the space get left to get bigger. I just think multi-sowing they just seem to like it more than being abandoned one seed at a time. Let's do a couple more of these ones. I think it's fascinating the different shapes and types of seeds. But you know, the little beetroot seeds are very odd shaped little creatures. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. in the camera. I can't see you. Oh, dropped it. But yeah, they're funny little. Oh, there goes the chainsaws. They're funny little things that look like little meteorites. There's only 2 of those ones left. Although I think I have already started some of those. I wasn't trying to chat while the chainsaw was going. So that's it. Finished these. I'm aware that I've just made a mistake and not cut any holes in the bottom of this tray. So I shall stab some in at some point. There we go, just cover those up. Get in the ground, you're not supposed to pop out. But, oh, found another little snail in my compost, that's unhelpful. Talking of snails, the other thing I've done today is create these little tubs. This has just got some yeast, a little bit of sugar and some flour in it, and apparently they trap snails, and as you can see we've got snails all the way along here. And so I've placed a few, you can see the frothing up beautifully, so I've kind of placed them around where I think the snails might decide to gather. And we'll just see. Certainly the yeast's been effective. Maybe I should have done it more this evening. But yeah, you don't try, you'll never find out. So here's my super technical watering device. It's just a washing up liquid bottle. I'll give them a water in. I'm aware that tomatoes prefer to be watered from the bottom, but that can't happen today because I don't have a tray big enough to sit this in. Hold on, put me back down for a moment. I do have one tray that I can take them out every few days and pop them, you know, pop half of them in at a time to bottom water. But this is just to get them started. Do you know it doesn't matter how deeply you plant seeds, there's always 1 or 2 that manage to pop back up. Get in the ground. There we go. Oh dear goodness. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the seeds back in the basket, collect up my flour and my sugar, and my yeast, and head back in. I think I'll have a cup of tea and then I'll go and clean out the rabbits. Okay, thanks for joining me. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I'm not sure if you can see or not, but there is a man up that tree cutting bits off. He's up there just, oh, you won't be able to see because he's just moved. You can hear the chainsaw though. I don't know if they're... comes down. So I don't know if they're cutting the whole tree down. It had dropped a couple of branches at the bottom earlier, or just a few weeks ago. But yeah, it's not a job I would fancy. I don't know if you can see to the right there, that is a tiny little rope ladder, and that's how he's getting up and down. Portuguese health and safety style. But yeah, I'm a bit sad. It's a wonderful tree. But I guess, you know, I guess it's pretty dangerous for the little house that's there. Whoa, there we go. Another big bit down. Yep. I do love that tree. It's so sad to see it getting butchered. And you can just about make out the chap standing in the middle there. I don't really want him to know I'm videoing him either, but just a sad thing to see, but obviously it's needed. But that is pretty brave. He's not tied on or anything, he's literally just standing in the tree. Anyway, I was going in to the house to get something, and I just thought you might be interested. Yeah, I'll just pause this for the moment.